Flexibility and mobility are not the same thing. And Rance, we do need both to be athletes, or do we? Because Ryann Tillman, who's our favorite yogi and our stretchiest friend we have here on River City Live, is a mobility teacher. So Ryann, and feel free to drop down and show us some things while you're telling us the differences, and also which is more important, being flexible or having good mobility.
Yes, well, I'll say you can't have good mobility without flexibility. Flexibility was the key word for a long time. Mobility has recently been talked about. Without flexibility, there is no ability. Without stability and strength, there is no mobility. So, for example,
let me get out of your way.
Come here. This is my flexibility.
Yeah, that's pretty flexible.
I can passively come into my range of motion. Now, if I stop passively doing it, that's only how mobile I actually am. So how far of range of motion do you have without assisting it? This is my mobility. This is my flexibility.
Okay.
That tail end.
Now I'm going to do that. No, I'm just kidding.
So that tail end of my flexibility, that last little bit of range of motion, I can't really use that. I can't functionally do anything with that flexibility. It looks good as a yoga teacher.
I mean, if you're a rockette, it's great.
Right.
But if you're trying to avoid injury,
yes,
or, you're doing something like you want to make a, kick on a soccer field or something like that, we're talking mobility. And as we age, mobility becomes even more important.
100%.
What about what we saw you doing at the top of the show? What was that? Flexibility and mobility combined?
Yes, that's the two combined. So you can take something like a wide-legged forward fold where you take a deep range of motion of flexibility, but again, can you do anything from that range of motion? To be able to access strength within your deep core, within your upper body, and to access the hip control it takes to keep the legs in that placement creates mobility. So you have a bit of that both. Without the strength, you couldn't do the push-up. Without the flexibility, you could never get there to do the push-up. So how do you create that sweet space for yourself? You're naturally so strong and stable. So for you, it might be adding more flexibility training to your schedule. For me, I'm hypermobile. For me, it's building stability, control, coordination, and strength.
Because you told me as a teenager, you were just kind of loosey-goosey there, really flopping around because you're so flexible, but with no strength.
So wobbly in my joints. I tried to do a picture one day in my travels on a retreat where it was in a little hallway and I was going to do a standing split. I just forgot, lack of awareness, how hypermobile I am. Didn't have a secure, safe micro bend in my knee. As soon as I lifted my other leg up to do this extreme range of motion, this leg gave. And I laughed. I was like, I haven't felt like that since a teenager because I've worked so hard to build strength and stability so that I can have safe mobility.
So what is an example of an exercise that we don't even realize when we do it, we are helping ourselves to become better with our mobility?
I would say one of the most practical would be something like a cat-cow.
I'm going to have you step up just a little bit into the light. So what is a cat-cow?
So from cat-cow, this is something we see in the tabletop position. Okay, so we're here, and when I cue this in a yoga class without demonstration, people will kind of go like this.
Sure.
And that's about as far as you go. So what I would recommend is round, 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 push through the ground, press your shoulder blades away from your spine, lift, pull the belly button up. That's going to open the back of the body. And then when we come into extension, you can see how much I'm lifting my chest and my chin. I'm pulling my shoulder blades down and back as I'm lifting through my sit bones. So this becomes way more mobility focused. I can come forward for my shoulders. Folks who are tighter in the lower back will shift back. Now, a movement like this can create a lot of space when you're coming back into the front. But if you just take it at its micro movement without a lot of intention, it's just going to get your blood flow.
If anything, I would say, just to dumb it down, if you will, I would say you just put a lot more oomph and power into the movement. So we're going to give you Ryan's actual email address so you can reach out to her. But also just knowing that vernacular, knowing that there is a difference between mobility and flexibility could put you on your way to seeking out whatever the program that is that you need to maintain that way to safely work out and do all the things we do in our life. So there it is. It's yogabyRyann@gmail.com. And seeing you always makes me happy.
Oh,
and I know Rance is always happy to see cake.